Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm doing something slightly different. I am doing a tag. I've not done many of these on my channel. When I posted all of my content on my blog, I did used to do a lot of tags, but I think I've only done a couple of tags on my channel, so I thought I would do one. And this is the Hamilton book tag. If you have been watching my videos for a while, you will know that I absolutely love the musical Hamilton. So when I was looking for ideas and I came across this over on Pretty Purple Polka Dots blog, which I will link in the description box below, I had to do this. And I will say this was actually originally created by Maureen, who again I will leave the link to their video in the description box below. The original video is from 2015, so quite a while ago, but I'm doing it now and I am excited. For some of these, the answers are spoilery, so I will not be holding up books for them, and I will give you a warning beforehand just so you know. But let's just get stuck in. So the first one is The Room Where It Happens, a book world you would put yourself in. So for this, I'm going for the Shadowhunters world because I am very well aware that it is set in our world. However, I would love to be part of the Shadowhunters world. I would love to be a Shadowhunter. Just, yes, I would love to go to Idris. So this is definitely the place I would want to go. And also I feel like it's the place I'm least likely to get killed. Unless I'm fighting a demon, obviously. But anyway, let's move on. The next one is the Schuyler Sisters, an underrated female character. So for this one, I'm picking Farley from the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I love Farley. I think she is an incredible character, and like whenever someone talks about this book series, they're always talking about Mare or Evangeline, and I'm like, no, Farley. And in Broken Throne, there is actually a short story from Farley's point of view, and it's one of my favourites. I absolutely love Farley. She is incredible, and I would love to be her or be with her. She's one of those characters. Next up we have My Shot, a character that goes after what they want and doesn't let anything stop them. For this, I am picking The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. The main character, Alessandra, is literally the embodiment of this question. She wants to be queen, she wants to seduce the king, the Shadow King, and become queen and then kill him so that she can rule on her own, because she doesn't need a man to rule with her. And she will do anything in her path to get what she wants. And I just, in a world where women are like have nothing, she is just incredible and I absolutely adore her. Next up is Stay Alive, a character you wish who was still alive. So obviously this one's going to have spoilers and it is from the Shadowhunters universe. I am going to put my hand up like this, and when I put my hand down, there will be no spoilers. Are you gone? Are you not listening? Okay, so the character is Livia Blackthorn from The Dark Artifices. Her death still breaks me now, and I kind of hate Cassie a little bit for killing her, but yeah. Okay, spoilers over. Next up we have Burn, the most heartbreaking end to a relationship you've ever read. This one is also kind of spoilery, so again I'll do the thing with the hand, but again it is from the Shadowhunters, the Shadowhunters series. However, this is from one of the books set in the past, so that's why it's not particularly a spoiler, but I'm gonna put my hand up anyway because I'm gonna mention something spoilery. So the end to the relationship is Will and Tessa, and the reason it's so heartbreaking is because obviously she is a warlock who does not age, and he ages and he dies, and it is the most heartbreaking thing because then she has to live without him. And oh my god, literally that is one of the short stories I believe in Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and it literally just rips my heart out every time. And Cassie just likes to rip my heart out, clearly. Okay, spoilers over. Next up is You'll Be Back, Sassiest Villain. This one was really hard, and I didn't want to go with the generic ones that everyone always picks for these, so I've gone with Jax from Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This could also still be a generic one, but I have fairly recently read this, and Jax is just... I love him. He is probably one of my favourite villains, and he's just everything. I love him so much. And yeah, he's just a smug, arrogant, sassy little thing, and yes. Next up is The Reynolds Pamphlet, a book with a twist you didn't see coming. Now, I'm not going to say what the twist of the book I've picked is, however, I do know some people don't like to know that there is a twist in a book, so I'm going to put my hand up so there's no spoilers for those people. The book is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. There's a twist near the end which I 100% did not see coming. I don't really tend to see twists anyway, so it's not a shock that I didn't see this coming, where other people probably did. But yeah, it shook me, and yes. Non-Stop, a series you marathoned. So I've gone with the Morganville Vampires books because when I'm currently doing a reread of these, but when I originally read them, I read the first book, and then books 2 to 11 I binged. I read in the space of like a month or two back when I didn't read a lot, so that was like a big deal for me. And then I just like didn't read any for like 6 months and then finished the series, but I binged most of this series and it was glorious. However, now, like, I have no idea where one book ends and another starts, so this reread is very interesting for me. Next up is Satisfied, your favourite book with multiple POVs. For this, I'm going with Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. This is my favourite book series ever, so, you know, it had to be this. And this has multiple POVs, this whole series has multiple POVs. And I just absolutely love everything about this series. It's my favourite series, and yeah. Next up is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, a book or series you think will be remembered throughout history. And for this I'm picking A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J Maas. This is like a beloved series by everyone, including myself, and I do genuinely think that it will like withstand the test of time, and like it will be one that is remembered in years to come, and everyone will always, there'll obviously always be people that hate it, but there'll also be people that absolutely love it. And that's the main questions, but there were also some bonus questions, so I'm gonna do those as well. So we have Helpless, a relationship you were pulling for from the very beginning. This has to be Magnus and Alec from the Shadowhunters series. From the moment they first met in the Mortal Instruments series, I knew they had to be Endgame, and Cassie hasn't let me down so far, and I'm okay with this. She's put some spanners in the works at points and scared the hell out of me sometimes, but she's pulling through for me for this one, and they are everything. I love their relationship so much, and they're just such an adorable couple. I love them with everything. Next up we have Tendril Commandments, favourite fight scene. Now this one might come to a shock to some people who know me, because most people would assume I would pick a fight scene from ACOTAR or Throne of Glass or Shadowhunters, but I'm actually going for Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. The scene at the end, or near the end, where they're fighting against the Krell is just such an intense scene, but it's also fast paced and you're on the edge of your seat, and I absolutely loved this fight scene so much. And I just, yeah, like this is not one of my favourite books ever. I did love this book, but it's not one that I would put on my favourites list. But this fight scene just got me, so yes. Next up we have Say No to This, a guilty pleasure. Now, I don't really go for guilty pleasures because I don't feel guilty about anything that I read. However, for the sake of answering this, I am going to say contemporaries. Specifically, contemporaries written by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I love these so much. I'm very fussy with my contemporaries now. I went through a phase where I read nothing but contemporary, but my genre is not contemporary. It's rare nowadays that I can read a contemporary and get sucked into it. There are exceptions, obviously. I have a whole shelf of exceptions here and some more up there, but mostly I don't read contemporaries. So I am going to say contemporaries, but mostly Becky and Adam's contemporaries, because everyone seems to hate them, but I love them. But I don't feel guilty for reading them, but for the sake of this, we're going to say those. What comes next? A series you wish had more books. If you've seen my videos recently, you may know where this is going. Havenfall by Sarah Holland. I'm still angry. So this was my favourite book of 2020. If you watch all my videos, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about this by now, but I am not going to rest until everyone knows my feelings on this. So this was my favourite book of 2020. I received a e-arc of the sequel, which I actually thought was the second book in a trilogy, which I would have been happy with. And it wasn't until after I finished the book I found out it was actually a duology, and I'm not happy with that because it's unfinished. Like, there is so much left open. Nothing was really like tied up, and it was just too unresolved for me. So yeah, there should definitely be more books in this series. Yeah. Then we have Right Hand Man, favourite bro TP. This is always going to be Will Herondale and Jem Carstairs. They are my bro TP for life. I love them so much. Like, you don't understand how much I love them. They are my favourites. Enough said. And then the final one is What Did I Miss? A book or series you were late to reading. And for this, it's Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. I'm really annoyed at myself that I did not read this sooner. I did not read this until 2020, and I read the entire series in 2020. I wish I had read this growing up. So this first book came out when I was about 13, I want to say. I think I was about 13 when the first one came out. And I really wish I had picked this up, but I was so obsessed with another book series at the time, which I'm not going to go into, that I did not pick up anything that was overly hyped because I didn't want to risk it overtaking anything, which, if I could go back and say to past me one thing, it would be that. But I can't go back, and I've read it now. Better late than never, right? However, now I have a lot of catching up to do because I do also have the Heroes of Olympus series, which I need to read, and I need to get the Trials of Apollo series. I also have the Magnus Chase and Kane Chronicles, which I know aren't actually part of Percy Jackson, but they're by Rick Riordan, and I have those, but I have not read them yet. So yeah, I am catching up pretty quickly. So that was all of the questions. I love Hamilton, and it's coming up to my birthday, and I will be using my birthday as an excuse to make my boyfriend watch it because he has not seen it yet, and it is one of my favourite musicals. I was about to say, out of like just muscle memory, it's my favourite musical, but Wicked still does hold that spot. But Hamilton is a very close second. I think if I got to see Hamilton live, it would probably overtake Wicked, but for now, Wicked is my favourite and Hamilton is a very close second. But yeah, so I am very excited to rewatch it. I've not watched it for a while, however I do regularly listen to the soundtrack. But that was all of the questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye!